Welcome everybody to the very first episode of Universes Academy's Take 10. Take 10 is going to be kind of like a nice interview back and forth, kind of a la the Hot Ones episodes. I'm a big fan. I love those shows, but we don't have chicken wings and hot sauce, so we're just going to have to just deal with it and just chit-chat with each other. Today, our first guest is Andrew Holder of GoBeyondGaming / UnfunStuff. He's newly minted UnfunStuff, and he was gracious enough to say yes last week. I had technical difficulties out the ass, and then he graciously came back on the show. Andrew, your accolades have followed you. Second place at Origins, top 20 at Orlando. You are pretty much a mainstay, a staple in the community right now as a content creator. As you and Sam Tate are probably my favorite commentary team. Levi and Tam are really good, but you boys are my favorite. I love the back and forth. I guess we're just going to go to the beginning of everything. Okay. It's October of 2021, right? I think, right? 2021? Yeah. This newfangled game called My Hero Academia shows up out of nowhere, and with little fanfare, no real backing behind it or whatever, and you decide to start content, right? And so let's go from your beginnings to where you start making content. So what was your path into the game, and then kind of what drew you to try the game out, make you stay, basically?
Yeah, so I played like Magic competitively, Pokemon competitively, Dragon Ball Super semi-competitively.
Okay.
I did a little bit of Digimon. I didn't like that game very much, but whenever they announced at Gen Con, and it must have been 2019 because it was before COVID.
Yeah.
That there was a My Hero game coming out. I was super amped up about it. I was really excited because I love the IP. I have a tattoo, like a My Hero Academia tattoo on my leg.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell by your background at all,
Yeah, I've got all the statues and the Funkos.
I know you hate the show. You can't stand it. Whatever.
Yeah, so I told everyone though that like when the game came out, if it was even like semi-palatable, that I was going to basically sell all my other card games.
Sure.
I knew of UFS or Universus, I guess, before that, but then we didn't actually know that it was a UFS or a Universus like game system. And then a couple months before, somebody said, "Hey, it's Universus. I have these starter decks. Do you want to try them?" And I had, I'm not going to lie to you, a negative amount of fun. I thought, man, I can't sell any of my card games because I don't like this.
Sure.
It turned out that I was getting cheesed on. I was playing a starter deck, and the person I was playing against was not playing a starter deck.
Oh, that's lame. That's a bad way to teach people. Shame on that person. Shame on that person.
Yeah, so October comes around. I buy in really heavy. I bought like 4 cases. Like my wife bought 2 cases. I bought 2 cases.
Okay.
We got everything. I didn't decide to start doing content until like January, and the reason I wanted to do it was, I'll be 31 in like a week actually.
Happy birthday at Gen Con.
I know.
Maybe as a recording.
Yeah, Gen Con,
awesome.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, buddy.
On my like 30th birthday, I realized I don't really do anything creative. Everything I do is like go to work, hang out with my wife, hang out with my friends, but I don't do anything like personally creative.
Sure.
So in like January, I was like, I don't know. I have a lot to say about this card game. I really like it. And I didn't think there was anybody who was really hitting the like casually competitive aspect of it. Like Tam was doing it at first, but as your audience grows with you, your content generally grows up as well. So he moved on from that, like, oh, you're new to the card game, what should you do, into my viewers are established players. I'm going to advance my content to that next step. So I felt like that was really missing.
Okay.
Combined with my desire to like do something creative, which the content helps me do. So
yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. Because that kind of basically like, because I know that I started watching you, I think around late January, February, because you were putting out. I was just kind of just subscribing to all the new guys because everybody knows I'm an old hat when it comes to content creation. I was pretty big into the whole content, everything daily. I was like a grinder like Tam, man. I did that stuff.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Oh boy, that was something. But your type of content, I guess kind of leads me to my next question, because you kind of answered part of it. Like you said, there wasn't a whole lot of new player friendly content out. So that's what kind of drove you to do it. But what what like your content brings a certain flavor, I believe, in my opinion. It's not in your face. It's really laid back. It's very casual. It's not a hype machine. It's not a hey, you suck if you don't do this, or this card's broken, or yeah. You're really good at just telling people the business straight. Like you give it to them at face value. Why go that direction with your content? And what I know you've talked in the past about you made content for your local group, and that's something that helped them grow as well.
Yeah.
Why take that path on your content?
I just felt like so I will say that I think the Universes community is awesome, but I do think there's this level of like cards get put in an objective state way too often of like this card is objectively good or it's objectively bad.
Recovery
pretty
girl.
Much every when pretty much every card in the game though is like it's super subjective. Like I can find a use case for pretty much every card in the game.
Sure.
And I had a lot of local players who had favorite cards that they were like putting in their decks. And when they would go online, they'd be like, oh, I want advice for my deck. And people were like, you should take these cards out and put these cards in. And they're like, those are the cards I want to play with.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the ones that they're the reason I made the deck. So I felt like, yes, that it was really awesome, but there wasn't anyone exploring like when I did my kit reviews for set 2, I don't think I said anything super negative about any card except for like mid-match advertisement, which might be the worst card in the game.
Yeah, that probably is. I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree.
So the idea was that like I wanted to do something that was like, hey, you don't have $300 to go buy promos, or you don't have the money to go buy secret rares or whatever it was. And during set 1, cards were somewhat pricey. Like if you didn't own Frigid Heatwaves, the water symbol didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree.
For competitive
play,
purposes, right?
Yeah.
You could play your casual water deck, but you couldn't just go up to a
provisional or a regional.
Or a regional, yeah. So
exactly.
Yeah, so I felt like locally there was a lot of people like they wanted to play with their cool cards, and so in order to help them, and also help myself grow as a player too, like I felt like if my local play group, which was mostly new players, was looking for that out of content, there was definitely more people looking for that out of content.
Okay, cool.
Just being like kind of like, hey, everything can be good. You just have to either work at it, or you have to accept that you're not playing the most optimal version of your deck, but it's the way you want to play, kind of things.
Sure. No, I totally agree with that, because there has to be some level of content geared towards casual players, because not everybody is a whale or a dolphin. Like your biggest audience is the casual player at their kitchen table, or the guy who shows up to locals and he may not win every round. He may go 1-2 or 2-2, but he has a blast because he plays his favorite character. He gets to play Shoto Todoroki 1 or whatever, and whatever, Oyama or whatever, and he just has fun doing that. And going online and being like, your deck sucks because you're playing these cards, but these are the cards I want to play, so please don't tell me my deck sucks. I just want to have fun. And at least
I think
bring that
like
to people.
I do think on the other side of that coin though, there is people who like are aggressively casual, where like they'll ask for recommendations for their deck and then they get mad when you recommend they put in better cards. I think there needed to be a balance there. Like, don't make suboptimal choices for the sake of being suboptimal. Make them because you like the card or because you want to play with them, or So and that was the big thing, was like I felt like one of the things that I think really helps Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon and Dragon Ball, not so much Magic and Pokemon, because their content feels so corporate at a level. Like it feels very high production for most of those games. Yeah.
It's not like bubblegum and duct tape like us, so
Yeah, was that there wasn't really anything focusing on like locals, right? It was, this is the deck I played at the provisional. This is the deck that I would play at a regional. This is the deck that I think is competitively the best deck. There wasn't a lot of like, hey, I played this really cool Bakugo deck at locals. I want to share it with you guys because I went undefeated at locals. I think that's like the heart and soul of a lot of the not big 3, I guess big 2, because I think it's a really big part of Yu-Gi-Oh's content as well.
Okay.
There's a lot of videos of people like, hey, I won my locals with this crazy archetype that you haven't heard of.
Sure.
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of like, this is the tournament. This is the tournament scene. This is what we play at tournaments. There wasn't a lot of like, this is what I took to my 10-person locals and went 3-4-0 with,
Yeah, because like as of Well, before your internet took a shit out on you, you were putting out the kind of like the state of the game posts in a way with the high end top
Mhm.
tier or tournament reports because Jasco hasn't done that at all for us, which is kind of like, hey Jasco, can you guys please do that? Because there's people who don't watch content, they're not on Facebook,
Mhm.
maybe they're not on the Discord, and if you aren't, you should be because that's where all the news is. Um, but yeah, you've been a great help because I know that you started out with like the local reports and um, with AJ's deck profiles or your locals profiles where you had them
Yeah.
talk about their deck and hey man, it may not be like the best deck, but it's the deck they love to play at locals because everyone has like they call them like pet decks where it's just like
Mhm.
I'm not going to play in a tournament in a large tournament, but man, I'll come and slap at locals with it, you know. Um, but yeah, so with that, segueing into like meta talk and all that, there's been a there's been like an uproar a bit about promos and access to them and some cards that are not healthy for the game. You know, frog. You know, to letter sense sometimes bird if he gets like the perfect hand on seven. You know, 7 attacks and 5 attacks, 2 actions, you're dead on turn two.
Mhm.
Um, overall, I know we've had a chat in the Universes Academy Discord about the game is pretty healthy for the most part outside a few things, but do you want to kind of elaborate on your point of view on the health of the game? And is it currently good, bad, or kind of mid right now?
I think it's I think it's kind of slightly above mid. I don't want to say that it's good, but I would say it's like a C plus B minus for me right now, just
Okay.
because I don't think that like, for example, the big one for me is I don't think like Asui is a super broken deck.
Yeah.
I just think that the version that the one guy played in Orlando is toxic and not a fun play experience.
Oh
Like
yes, we know that. We everybody. Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
yeah, so like I actually don't have an issue with there being aggro decks. I have there being an issue with aggro decks where the guy's game plan was to win in 7 minutes and he accomplished that 7 rounds in a row.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. There's a
he
problem
built
there.
something that
Yeah.
yeah. And I know that you've tested with it. I know that just bringing up UA, I think it was
Hmm.
John has tested with it a little
Yes.
bit. I
Yeah.
think Kraft has tested with it a
Yep.
little bit. Like
Yep.
it's just not a fun play experience to sit across from. And it's
Mm-mm.
also not even that fun to play as. Like it's
You are
just
correct.
you're
Yeah.
doing it because you want to win. And
Yeah.
yes, like when we go to the highest level of competition, winning is important. So
Hmm.
for me, I think that like there's a little bit too much aggression right now. I think that if your game plan is to be a deck that like play like once you get into top cut with your defensive deck, you're probably going to win. I know Tim Keefe has done a lot of stats on that,
Hmm.
but you got to make it to the top cut to win. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to get there.
You have to get there through the rounds
Um,
for sure.
yeah, you have to get through Swiss. And then my other issue was the promo thing, and I made a video about it where
Yep.
I kind of like highlighted my concerns with promos and with
Hmm.
kind of the overall health of the game with these mechanically unique promos.
Yeah.
I hate them. I wish they would go away in every form, but I think that the new announcement is like an okay middle ground for me. The new announcements on like redemption and
Yeah.
accessibility and things like
Yep.
that, legality dates and all that.
Sure.
Um, my big issue with the promos, just like because I feel like I might have made it clear in the video, outside of them just being mechanically unique and hard to get. It's not that they're like expensive or anything. I don't have a problem
Yeah.
spending money on cards. It's that the set 3 promos in like specifically feel like they belong in a set. They don't feel like
Yeah.
cool niche cards like the first
Sure.
set did. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
price per piece or the characters
Like
or
Plus
even
Ultra
set
really
2.
probably should have been in the set to be honest. You know, if you
Yeah,
think
plus
about it.
ultra should have
Yeah.
been in the set.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so that was my big thing was
Yeah.
like the flamethrower,
Yeah.
the Bakugo
Oh sure.
Fury
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
they all felt like they belonged in set 2. Like they were part of Bakugo 2's kit or that they were part of Shoto 2's kit
Yeah.
or and so when they got put out as promos it felt like super predatory to me as a consumer that like,
Yeah.
oh, you just expect me to go get these.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah. My correction
so
on the Plus Ultra Pack cards, because Plus Ultra was a Plus Ultra Pack card. I believe
yeah.
Plus Ultra Pack cards are okay. Like those are fine promos. It's the provisionals, like yeah, like you said, like the characters and that. That's what I should have. Sorry, I made a misstep there. So I'll probably
Yeah,
get chastised on the internet for it. But yeah.
you're good. I
Yeah.
personally have an issue with the Plus Ultra promos, but they're
Yeah.
fine because
Yeah.
they're so easy to get.
Correct.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Like
personally have an issue with them because my soapbox is all mechanically unique promos no matter what,
sure.
including quirk
Sure.
packs and box stoppers.
Yeah, I
Like
get
I'm
you on that
against
one.
all of them.
Yeah, I kind
So
of like I it kind of leads me into the next question I had for you about the redemption changes. With the redemption changes, they kind of made it easier for everyone to get them if you want them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get all these LP points now. The loyalty point system changes as of the 20th, I believe. Yeah, of was it of August? So that's
23rd of August, I think, or
23rd. So it's a
something.
Monday or something like that. So you get like
Yeah.
10 times. So you're able to get the cards a little. Actually, they did the math very fast compared to the old method. So if you want them, you can order them day one. They're available day one. If you want foil versions, I guess you go hunting for them because they don't play any better, I guess, other than like the frigid heat waves that you guys own for your regional top twoers. They'll say I win instantly when I play it. So that has secret
I gotta
hidden
put it
text.
in a deck.
Yeah, that has secret hidden text. No, you don't. You can play a regular copy, and then you slap down the other one, your silver one on top of it. And you're like, I win instantly, right?
Exactly.
I think that mechanically unique promos should be easier to get, and I get like the provisional promos were supposed to be store championship promos, which were supposed to be like twice or three times a month, once a month or whatever. But yada. Do you think? I guess we know your opinion because you think they're bad for the game, mechanically unique ones. But and you said that the redemption changes are a good thing. What would you do personally with if you were Andrew in control of this OP promo system? What is your heaven? What does your view look like?
It's tough because I do understand there's a general, I guess there's this like, how do I put it? There's this weird idea that you should go to a competitive event and open or get handed enough stuff to like comp the cost of your event, which I disagree with.
Sure.
I don't think it's Jasco's job to make it affordable for you to go to an event. I think that like I think that they would just be alt arts. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who I spoke with, but I had a few conversations with people from Jasco after I posted that video.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the Discord, you saw that it became like required watching, that it get like messaged to people within the company and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that like just alt arts in general are cool, but I'm someone who's really motivated by alt art stuff. I think that it's like cool to make my deck look cool. I think that it's cool to have like the shiniest version, right? Like I have them on my desk right now because I have like the Excited for Blood. I think it's really cool to have these in my deck.
Yeah.
I don't think it's cool that if I get that, because I am someone who grinds events, that I have a competitive advantage over somebody for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I think if they're going to continue with mechanically unique stuff, the way they're doing it now, the new announcement is really good, and shipping has mostly turned around recently. Like within the last month, if you count July only, anything that you earned or submitted in July has been sent out already.
That's a big plus.
Yeah, like we're coming up on August. I know that June was a little rough. You didn't get your stuff until the week after Orlando, I think.
Correct. Yeah, correct. If there's winners of their provisionals at the regional in Orlando, the side provisionals, they got all their winnings, I think, except for the champ cell keys were sent out to them, but they got their boxes, they got their play mats. But granted, they did me a solid and gave me my playmat in Orlando, so thank you, Jasco, on that one. So, but yeah, it took them 5 to 6 weeks to get stuff out again. So
I think that like I don't know if I have a clean answer, just because like I have such a differing opinion on it than a lot of people do. I'm not like, I think people want their promos to be worth money, but I also think that like just choose better cards. Why did we choose Acid Fling or whichever one?
Hey man, don't you knock that card. That art
it's a beautiful card.
The card
it's
sucks,
a beautiful card,
but the card is beautiful.
Good.
Yeah, it's not good at all. No, yeah.
If we go into like even the set 3 ones, like Manly Passionate guy is really good. It goes into basically every deck on those symbols.
Correct.
But like Rising Starlet is super niche. It's a beautiful card again. Like it looks great.
Yeah.
But it's such a niche card. Same with Instant Explosive Release, and I can't remember all of them right now. Like and we don't know if the Ojiro and the Toru one are going to be
in the set. Yeah.
Are going to be good cards, right? We don't have the context of what comes out in the so like I think if it was for me, I would just be choosing better cards as promos. Like I think set 2 nailed it. I think all of the set 2 ones outside of Acid Fling are great.
Yeah.
Because all of those cards saw play.
Like Excited for Blood, Erase. Those are like
imagine the Momo card was just create Capturing Net. That sees play in almost every deck on the symbols, right? Like imagine the Bakugo card was Latent Skill.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh please, that would be
you
really
know what I mean?
cool. Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
ton of, I think just choosing, and I know there are some restrictions there. Jasco has to take the art assets they have, and they have to
Mm-hmm.
use them with cards that make sense. Like, I understand there are restrictions, but I think just doing better things.
Sure.
I had a conversation with somebody who said that the only reason people play in provisional side events is for the promos, and I said, well, that's because the playmat you're giving away is the pro hero mat and the pro for the playmat, the win a playmat events.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the pro hero mat, I would say 80% of the people in the room have it.
Oh yeah.
Why would I
Yeah. I
sign
remember
up
you
for an
saying
event to
something
win
like
a
that.
second
Yeah.
copy?
Yeah. Exactly. Because
Um,
you can't even sell it for the amount of the
that you,
entry
yeah.
that you paid for. Yeah. Exactly.
So like, why would I, why
Yeah.
instead of if we're gonna do win and mats at side of at regionals as a side event, why not make it like a, hey, this season's regional side event mat is the Gen Con version of, I
All
don't know, Toga.
or like you could do uh the provisional winner mat, but without all of the
Yeah,
winner text. Like you have a selkie
yeah,
with just the box, just without saying provisional winner placement.
yeah, or
You know,
champion second place, whatever.
yeah,
So
you could easily just give maybe like the what, they gave away like what, like two midnight mats.
yeah.
Like I give me a
So
chance to win one of those, man, because that mat's awesome. You know.
yeah. So I guess to answer your question, like in a more concise way than me just kind of rambling, if I had full control over everything,
Yeah.
all the cards that you're seeing as promos would just be inside sets,
Yeah.
and you would just get alt arts. So like
Yeah.
your locals would have alt arts.
That'd be cool.
Um,
Yeah.
the way Pokemon does it is that if you show up for every week that you show up, you get a stamped promo. That's an alternate art card, and then I think after the fourth week, you get a um like a special, like
Foil.
one, like if you showed up every week to locals, you get like an even more special card, like
Oh,
a better
cool.
card or a higher
Yeah,
rarity card or
yeah.
whatever.
Well, that's cool.
And then if you show up for 4 months straight, which is about the average amount of time between sets for my hero, you get a playset of the cool alt art.
Ah, that's
I don't
sick.
know.
I like that.
I think just doing alt arts in general would be
Hmm.
better. But again, I'm someone who's motivated by alt arts. I know
Yeah,
some people are motivated by the provisional promos because they're worth so much
yeah.
money.
I think you
And I
call it
think
what,
that's,
your goblin brain? Your goblin brain
yeah, my
wants all the
goblin
shinies.
brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
never thought I was gonna be the. I don't do XRs, but these
Yeah.
alt arts, man,
Oh
like the
yeah, yeah.
XRs, I don't care about too much. I have a
Yeah.
few XRs just because I opened them in my case openings, but like,
Sure. Sure.
yeah. So
So that kind of led me into that kind of you're really good interview because you lead yourself into the segue to the next question. So you said everything should, like we kind of talked about the meta, how things are kind of like above mid, and the promo situation kind of fixed it out. What do you want to see going forward from Jasco Games? Not necessarily in a like a set or an IP or a better OP schedule or whatnot. What do you, like, I guess that would be kind of an OP schedule. Would an
mhm.
OP schedule early enough to plan would be great. What do you want to see overall from Jasco Games going forward? Let's say 6 months out. What do you want to see going forward?
I want to see more set ones and less set twos because set two is not a good set. Like just very objective. I know we talked about like every card has its place and all that,
Mm-hmm.
but man, set two missed the mark. Like even casually, it's tough to even want to play cards from set two over set one. Imagine
Okay.
Stain's your favorite character, and then you got handed
Yeah.
Stain's kit.
Yeah. Very
Like,
true. Yeah.
so like I want more set ones and less set twos, which I know means increasing the power level on average, but like
Yeah.
um I just think I want sets that like feel good to open. Right now, there was a case event last weekend, or I guess it would have been yesterday at
Really?
time of
Oh
recording,
wow,
like
I didn't know that.
that I just didn't go to, and it was like an hour and a half away because I was like, God, I don't want to drive an hour and a half and pay $30 to win 6 boxes of set two.
Set
I
two.
was like, I just don't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
it was like I was like, man, the gas I spend to get there is going to be worth like two of the boxes when I try to resell them to people.
Yeah. True. True.
I'm not gonna open. I may get. If I open 6 boxes, I might open like $100 total,
Mm-hmm.
$120. Like so, I would like to just see like sets be slightly better. I think that set three is going to like hit that for me. And then as far as other things go, like an announced OP thing, like I'm lucky enough that my job I always say it's not real because I just put cards in envelopes. I work for a game store.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I'm lucky enough that when something gets announced with 4 weeks notice that I'm able to just get up and go because my job doesn't have like time off requests or like
Sure.
PTO requests or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think like a more structured, and I think that is coming. Like I have had a lot of talks with people that like basically at this point it's just that Jasco has to show that the things they're saying are coming are actually coming. I think they've promised a lot of really good
Yeah.
things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just making sure that they follow through on those promises.
Sure. Yeah. No, I think
I
that's
really,
the big thing.
yeah. because I really enjoy the game and I love the IP and like um I would not even care if they ever grabbed another IP. I think they could go the Dragon Ball Super way. We could literally do revisits of characters that they've done, right? Like let's say we get to set 7 or 8 and I don't know who's a good character right now. Somehow by set 8 Asui 1 has fallen off. They want to do like a retrain on Asui 1.
Oh, like a reboot leader or something, like
Yeah,
in
like a
DBS?
reboot leader does in
Yeah,
Dragon
yeah,
Ball. Yeah.
yeah. I get you.
It would be Suyu Asui 5 or 6, but it would just
Yeah.
be the first version, but like maybe updated to fit the modern game. She's an awful example because her kit probably scales better than any set 1 character.
You mean like Deku 1 would be something you would like to see. Like I think they could easily redo Deku 1 and put him out as the 3rd version. You know, you know, because
something like that would be cool. Yeah. So the IP thing, I don't really have an IP that calls out to me. There are ones that would be really cool, but like it's not the end of the world. But yeah, the big thing would be like more structured, organized play.
Sure.
And for sets to hit the mark a little bit better than set 2 did, because set 2 was just really lackluster.
Yeah, I've noticed on because I sell on TCG Player, and I know the place you work at also sells on TCG Player. That set 2 cards aren't really worth opening packs anymore, unless you hit like an Excited for Blood or. I guess a couple. There's like Impact Cyclone is still going for something, but like the rares, you might as well just junk it, or just give it to someone who just started, because you're not going to make anything back. Granted, you don't get into a card game, I guess, to make money, because it's still, it's supposed to be what do they call it? Like fun money. It's you're supposed to have expendable cash or whatever to play it, because it's a hobby, not a job.
But I think that like it's fair for most people to expect their hobbies to recoup some of their spent money.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't think that like all of it, right? I don't think you should expect to throw down $1,200 for 2 cases and then go, I'm going to make $1,200.
Yeah.
But you have to take in the amount of the amount of what you value the time you spent, right? Like if I played for 100 hours, what do I value my time at? I value my time at what I make it work. That I have enough fun that making the money at work was worth more, you know what I mean? Like kind of thing.
Yeah, I get you.
So yeah, when you're talking about set 2 prices right now, the secret rares are like $10 to $12 if you sell them not through TCG. On TCG Player, they're like 15 or 16.
Yeah, I saw that.
So you can get a play set. Yeah.
In the Discord, someone was selling a dropkick slice for $10, and I'm like,
you can get a playset of dropkick slicers for 40. You can get a playset of joint efforts for 40. Not that these cards are good, but they're 1 per case. They should probably be a little more valuable.
Yeah, because I think the set 1 secrets are still holding around 25 to 30, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe.
Set 1 as a whole still has a lot of value in it. Like
a lot of staples.
Set 1 also had better XRs, right? It had more of the full art, extended art XRs. It had less of the anime screenshot cards.
I think that may have to do with it. Do with some of it is that the XRs aren't as. There are some. Like, there's some full arts that look really good. Stuff from, I guess, the mobile game or whatever, where they get the assets from
Ochako 2's whole kit, I think all of her attacks come with, like, an extended art.
Oh, yeah, Ochako 3, yeah.
Ochako 3, Ochako 3, sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. No, you're fine. No, you're gonna get bricks thrown at you through the internet for that one.
Yeah,
I didn't get it right. He's a content creator.
Yeah, I guess. Let me think. Like, is there anything that I would really want, like, 6 months? I don't know. I've said this vocally through my channel, through the promo video. I've said it on Discord. I said it in comments and YouTube, on Facebook. I think Jasco has the right people in the right places now. I think it's just making sure that they follow through on what they're saying is going to happen. If I keep getting told that organized play 2023 is going to be better, and then it turns out it's not better, it's going to impact my desire to want to play.
Exactly. Totally agree.
Totally agree. And I'm gonna always want to play the game, but it's gonna impact my desire because so far I have gone to every single in-person event except for the 12-person Toronto provisional. Right?
Very true.
I've gone to every in-person event. I've traveled. I've spent a lot of money to travel because I have a lot of fun playing the game. I love seeing people in person.
That's how we met. We met officially at the Omaha provisional, which was awesome. I was like, hey, you're that guy from YouTube.
So I think that like just a more structured, organized play. But I really believe in the team that Jasco has in place. I think Brian, his name is Brian. He's doing the head of organized play now. He can't say anything, but his big thing is just 2023 is going to be better, and I believe them.
That's good. That's really good. Yeah, it's kind of like old Jasco was more of a fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, fool me 3 times, shame on me, because they had some OP, but it wasn't like how they're playing, how New Jasco is planning to do it. So I'm really excited about it because um, half the draw of me playing this game is playing with my friends and seeing my
Mhm.
friends, and that's a whole that's like a whole nother video altogether. We can all cry and hug each other and all that stuff.
I already did that once
Yeah,
on
yeah,
YouTube. I
you did.
refuse to do it
Yeah, you
again.
did that on YouTube. It was like the
Yeah.
kinder, gentler side. Like your total tattooed, gruff exterior, you're totally out the window
Yeah.
now, man. So, all
Man,
right,
that
yeah.
Orlando event, I don't want to get too
Oh,
off
you're good. No,
topic,
you're
but that
fine. You're
Orlando
fine.
event was
We're
such
here
a
to chat.
weird
Yeah.
it was such a weird experience for me because like I have a video on my channel, guys, where like it's me in a hotel bed for like
Yeah.
8 minutes straight, just being real emotional.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
was like,
Yep. It was
I
awesome.
had a really weird because I had a rough ending to Orlando. Like I
Yes.
don't want to get into
Yeah.
the details
Yeah.
of it,
Very
but
true.
basically I
Yeah.
should have been top 16.
Yep.
I got 17th
Yeah. Yeah.
because of something that was completely out of my control.
Correct.
And a lot of people like went to bat for me,
Mm-hmm.
like, and then on top of that, that's not even like what mattered. It was just like people coming up and wanting to take pictures or like wanting to play a fun game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only deck I brought with me with fourth kind was fourth kind, so you don't get too many fun games playing against that guy. But like,
Yeah. True.
uh,
Yeah.
but I mean, like
Yeah.
people wanted me to sign cards and stuff. It was like a really cool experience.
Yeah.
Like I, but also the thing was that like even when I wasn't a content creator, like I was a content creator basically for every in-person event, but like even at Omaha, where like you were the only you and like two other people knew I made videos in that
Yeah.
building.
Uh huh.
People were really welcoming and nice. And I think
Yeah.
Orlando's the one that like hit me right
Yeah.
on like the emotional funny bone,
Oh
the emotional
boy.
bone, I guess. Like
Yeah, dude. Yeah, trust me. It's like once you're
uh,
part of the, it's like what is it? Like Fast and the Furious. It's all about family.
family.
It's all
Yeah.
about family, brother. It's all about family. All
Yeah.
right,
So
so we're gonna move into what I like to call, this is the middle of the video. So we're gonna call it, this is the lightning round. So I'm gonna give you 5 questions, and I need the first thing that pops into your head. It
okay.
may be MHA related. It may not be MHA related. It may be personally related. So we're just give me off the top of your head. So we're gonna go number one. Favorite movie.
Oh God. Requiem for a Dream.
Ooh, neat. That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
Wow, that man, you're a man of culture. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Favorite animal.
Cats. I love my cats.
Oh, sick. Okay, I'm more of a dog person, but I like all
Yeah.
animals. So yes. Favorite color.
I guess black. Yeah.
Nice.
I wear a lot of black. Every
Yeah.
event I've been at, I wear black
Yeah.
shirt, black pants.
Hey
So.
man. Hey, it works for you, dude. You look good.
I've already asked Bromley for a black UnfunStuff shirt. So.
Ooh, that would be sick, dude. That would look
Yeah.
really cool with the pink highlights
Yeah, black
on
with
it.
pink writing.
Yeah, that would look good. Favorite MHA card to date.
One for all full cowling 5% strike. I love that card.
Oh
The card
my-
says draw 3 cards on it, dude.
Fair
That's so good.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's also one of the few cards in the set that can interact with your opponent's character, which is
Yeah.
really crazy. Like, uh, other than yourself, favorite UVS content creator.
I like all of them.
Gotta pick one, man. Gun to head. Who's your favorite?
Gun to head. I really like Phil Birch's videos, man.
Okay.
If it was gun to head, I like I
Yeah.
know this is gonna sound really like I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but I'm sub to every single content creator. Somebody
yes, same.
brand new just posted a video today on Facebook, and I was like, hell yeah,
Oh.
someone else is sub to so that I can watch more stuff. Like
Cool. Yeah.
gun to head, I've been really into what Phil's doing lately because he is doing similar to what I'm doing and kind of similar to what Tam is doing, but it's
Mhm.
more like open discussion where he's just kind of talking for 10 or 12 minutes about a topic.
Yeah.
It's a lot less structured than me
Yeah.
because I always have a script for everything and I
Sure.
always have like a plan. Um, and it's just going over topics that I think need to be covered. And he doesn't do it in a way that's like aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
He does it very like, hey, this is just like I have experience. I have 2 cards named after me, man. Like I know what I'm
He has
talking about.
more than just 2, but yeah. It's good.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
2 characters,
Two
right? He has
characters,
like
yes.
a couple.
He has a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
assets. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
And I think that it's just like really good content for people
Mhm.
to watch. But
Yeah.
I think gun to head right now, my answer is Phil. But if you ask me tomorrow, my answer might be like Universes Academy, or the next day my answer might be Tam. It's just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
whoever I watched most recently, probably.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's kind of weird seeing, like, to elaborate on the whole Phil thing. It's really nice to see Phil in the ring because back he was always known as King Salty, and he
Mhm.
would, he was one of the more aggressive, like not aggressive at you, but like he was just you know, it was fun to play him, but sometimes if it didn't
Yeah.
go his way, it wasn't fun to play him. But that didn't take away from how I love that man. He's a great
Yeah.
friend, great person. It's really cool to see the kindler, more gentler Phil Birch, where he's just, hey dudes, I have like, I'm like, I've been playing this game for like half my life because I think he's not even
Yeah.
30 yet. I don't know. He may be 30ish, or maybe a little older than you. But it's just like he has all this experience and all this knowledge to tap into, and it's just it's fucking awesome, man. Like to see
Yeah.
him and Bromley and all that, and like a lot of the old hats kind of stepping up a bit, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So on the subject of Phil, when I at Origins, I top aided Origins, and somebody who like I guess knew Phil from back in the day like messaged me, and was just like, hey, like if you win against Phil, he's not mad at you.
Yeah,
And I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, he can be kind of salt. The guy was like, he can be kind of salty. And the entire time I played Phil, at no point did I ever get the feeling that he was
yeah,
like salty. He was the nicest person that
yeah.
one of the nicest people I've ever played
It's
against.
really
Like it
cool
was,
because like yeah, that's what I heard. Like
yeah,
he's the kindler, more gentler Phil Birch, which is awesome. Maybe
yeah.
his old age, you know, he's getting old and
He's softened up.
he
Yeah,
softened up a bit. Yeah. So moving on from the lightning round discussion, I need to get some like sound effects for the like
yeah.
have some lightning round. I'm not good
The
at that, so I may have to get the editor to do it one day. But yeah,
craft. We need lightning
yeah,
bolts
we need
and like
lightning bolts and a
explosions.
lightning round and explosions. You know,
Yeah,
maybe get like Denki throwing light, like
yeah.
exploding,
There
you
you
know,
go. There you go.
1.3 million indiscriminate or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
So you are known for playing. You were basically known the fourth. You're the fourth kind guy. You
yeah.
know, you're the.
Unfortunately, yeah,
I mean, yeah. I mean, like I'm the All Might 3 guy. You know, so it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
everyone has a. We all have types. You know, like Phil's the toga dude. You know, and all that. So, um, what kind? Like, what is the fourth kind deck like your deck? Like, yeah, I know it's like your deck because you create it, but like, is that style of deck your favorite type to
So
play, or is there another type? Like, are you an aggro? Do you classify yourself as a certain type of player, or are you just like I'm a jack of all trades type guy?
I would rather play defensive decks, but right now in the current format, I haven't found a reason to play a defensive deck over a more aggressive deck.
Sure,
I will say, as far as creating fourth kind, that probably goes better out to like Mark Tyner, Brandon Bueno, like the whole Omaha group.
sure.
JP Johnson's also done a lot of work on it. I know I have the best results with it
Mm-hmm.
so far, but like, I think that like I really like five handers a lot. I just Mineta 2 doesn't kill people super well. I love his abilities. I
Yeah,
love how
his
much
abilities are
control he
cool.
can
Yeah,
exert over the
yeah.
game, but like he doesn't kill anyone.
Somewhere
Um,
Lenoco is screaming.
yeah, and then I also really like I really liked Kirishima 1. I complained about him a lot when he was legal just because he was so good I couldn't play him at locals because there was no way to build him
Yeah,
that wasn't like overbearing
very
for
true.
that
Yep,
format.
very true.
Um Asui was one of my favorite decks before we got into these like 50 card, 24 attack, 26 foundation decks.
Oh man,
Uh
yeah, you got it,
yeah.
man. The Master Asia list, man. That's been
Yeah.
making the rounds, dude. You know, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So I want to say that like I would rather play a defensive deck, but fourth kind just like I feel like Dan Nelson did during the set one format, where he was like for set one, before Tim Keefe sort of took over the mantle as the Tokoyami guy of the format.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Nelson was the Tokoyami guy,
Yeah, very true.
but he would be telling people like, "No, I don't ever kill anyone on turn 2. I killed him on turn 4.
Yeah.
I killed him on turn 5." And that's what I feel like with fourth kind. Everyone tells me that like, "Oh yeah, it's just like this Unga Bunga turn 2 deck." I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I can't ever deal more than like 18 damage on turn 2. What are you guys doing different than me?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was
Yeah,
like,
because I ripped your list off
mhm,
Origins, and I was playing it against people, and I'm like, sure, if my opponent's dumb and builds to 6 on their turn 1,
yeah,
and then I have 5 attacks in hand, I kill them, right? But in their
yeah.
7-hander, and they die. But on average, it was more like maybe turn 3 at the earliest, turn 4 for sure, because you
He
know.
plays really good defense. Like
Mm-hmm.
against the life decks, if you just hold one of your high blocks, you get to block 2 frog lashings. Like you just get to
Yeah,
block them, and that's it. And you play so much speed control and speed boosting and speed hate just because you're on the order symbol
yeah.
and you have like ice gliding and heroic lineage that like
Oh, ice gliding's so
cannon
good.
cannon blast is not ever 9 speed against you. It's like 5 speed, and you have a 1 high in your hand, so you just get to block 2 of them.
Yeah, very true.
Um,
Yeah.
Against like it's like basically the format for me is like defined by like the frog lashing cannon blast decks, and then by the decks that are trying to get you with like indiscriminate shock,
Mm-hmm.
or reciprocal acceleration kick being the other big one, and then you have Kirishima, like the punch decks, Kirishima and All
Yeah.
Might 3.
Yeah.
um but for the most part, like against Kirishima, All Might 3, and then like the Frog Lashing Cannon Blast decks, if you hold a high block, you just can't die.
Yeah.
Because you can't get Texas smashed for 18.
No.
You know, you can't get because typically the way I see that deck kill people is like back alley haymaker, Texas smash. And the second Texas smash is just like for your whole life total.
Yeah.
If you hold a high block, if you hold a high block, you get to block both of those. You get to block 2 Frog Lashings. And then against like the other decks, you just hold low blocks. You hold your 1 low blocks, and you get to block twice. So like, I don't know. I feel like Dan Nelson, where I'm like screaming at the sky, like, no, you don't kill people on turn 2 as fourth kind. You play good defense, and then you eventually kill them on turn 4 when you draw the 4 attack hand.
Yeah, and especially like they're trying to push you so hard, they're gonna end up overextending, and then they just die because they can't do anything.
I think the other reason I've been gravitating towards him is I think Blood Curdle is the best card in this format right now for a lot of the decks. For aggressive decks. I think if you're an aggressive deck on Blood Curdle symbols, you have to be maining it, or you're gonna run into Momo 1 or Kirishima 2, and you're just gonna lose.
Yeah, very true.
Or you're going to run into like Eraserheads boarding into Kurogiri, or Asui's boarding Natoru or whatever. But like fourth kind plays that card really well because he commits your whole board. So him basically having a card that says stun target character or commit target character.
Commit target character, yeah.
Yeah. Which also in turn stops you from being able to use all your defense is really good. I wish I've been kind of sneaking looks at Tim Keefe's Evil Toga list because I think the idea of playing Evil Toga with Blood Curdle sounds good.
Yeah.
But then you can't kill anyone and you can't play defense. You only get to play Blood Curdle really well.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of Blood Curdle in the format, and I think fourth kind plays it in the main deck better than most characters.
Sure. Because
he plays 4 passing the torch, 4 calling for backup, 4 extend, 4 high engine.
So he can either discard it, or he can use it more often than not. So yeah.
It also like is randomly good into like amphibious and small and limber and requesting assistance and like the characters who it's bad against for the commit effect, it's really good against their foundations usually.
Yeah. So fair enough. Well, question 7 was kind of taken up by all the redemption changes, so we know that you're happy with all the redemption changes. So, and we already know what you want to do. So as a side question, would you like to see the alt arts from the regionals become redeemable? Maybe not in a foil version, but at an extended cost, maybe at a higher cost, but non-foil. Would you like to see that?
This is where I think people are going to actually disagree with me on the promo thing for the first time. I think not. I think they should just be exclusive to their seasons. I think that's like,
I agree.
You want your cards to have value. We talked about, I don't think that Jasco should be responsible for making cards that pay for your travel.
Yeah. They shouldn't care about the secondary market in the most part.
They shouldn't care about the secondary market, but like, I think it's good for the game that we have alt art versions of cards that are 40, 50, 60 bucks because for the people like me who have the goblin inside their brain, they're going to go spend $200 on a playset. This is going to, if I don't get a playset of them through just like the events I attend, I'm just going to go spend $200. Like, it's just how my brain works.
Yeah. I
think that's good.
No, go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead. You finish your thought.
Yeah. I think that's good for the game. I just think that you should have cards worth money. I think that's one of my issues with set 2 is cards aren't worth money. Excited for Blood is over 20. The secrets are like 10 to 15, and then like Impact Cyclone's like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But like Double Jab Pummel should be more than $1. It's played in so many decks.
That card is maybe the best card in that entire best attack, and then outside of Back Alley Haymaker, which I don't get why that's 75 cents. That card is ridiculous.
I got a stack of them, stack of them that I'm just waiting to sell. So
same, yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I think it's good. I don't think that the regional promo should be put on Redemption.
Okay.
I don't think that the Gen Con promo should be put on Redemption. I do think the Gen Con promos should have a sale going on the Jasco website from the first day of Gen Con till the end of Gen Con that you can buy the playmats on the website.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. I kind of agree with that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because I think that those, because they're tied to you basically can equate them to being tied to purchase exclusives. They should be available to more people than if you could only get the Gen Con promos for playing in events. I don't think they should go on the website, but because you can essentially show up and over the course of 4 days buy a playset, you should be able to buy them online. I know that's probably because they don't have enough. They might even throw them online once like after Gen Con.
If
who
they
knows?
have any
I don't
extras
have any
left over or whatnot. Yeah, so I get that.
But yeah, I don't think I would want to see the regional promos go on Redemption, which I know that like it sucks if you want to use those arts, but like you can use the regular one. You're not at a disadvantage for using the regular one.
I personally think they're cursed because I've used the regional arts and I've just sucked it up really bad. That also could be because I was not feeling well, but whatever. We don't make excuses here on Take 10.
Yeah.
We don't make
Yeah.
excuses. We own up to our shit. But yeah, I don't use them anymore because I feel like they play differently because I'm superstitious. Yada yada yada. My deck hated them. Like All Might was pissed in Orlando, and he's like, you know what? Fuck you for changing these cards out. I like the old ones. We're never gonna draw them. So I swapped my old ones back. But like about you with the Goblin Brain, I pick out certain ones that I want full sets of that like Texas Smash, like Acid Fling. Yes, the card's horrible, but the art is beautiful. Like the set one Specialist to Sound, I have a full set, and I believe Zero Gravity Lift. I love the art on that, so I have a full set. So there's certain ones that you don't you really, unless you are an adamant about having a full playset of them, you could really pick one or two and just get one
Yeah.
copy of each. Because if you go to a regional, people just trade them like they're worth nothing. It's like
Yeah.
it's like, hey, dude,
On site, man,
on
they're worth
site, they're
nothing.
worth
But
nothing on site, no doubt. They are
yeah.
worth nothing, and which kind of sucks because that's probably going to infuriate a lot of people who buy them off people who sell them after the events. But
hmm
that's us. We get to exclusively do that because we're there at the event, which I don't
Yeah.
know if that's more of a first world problem thing or whatnot. But going to events and leading into our next question, because we segue so well on Take 10, um, we know you've been traveling to every in-person event. You're going to Gen Con. I don't know if you have plans to go to California for that. I don't know. I don't know if you've thought that far ahead. I know that with your Goblin Brain, if there's special promos at Worlds, you'll be going there to grind the hell out to get into Worlds if you have to. Unless they like tap you on the shoulder and have you and Sam commentate the entire thing, and then it doesn't
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
matter because then they throw that stuff at you like water. Um, so we know season year one you've traveled a lot. If things do get better, like you've said that you have high hopes, do you see yourself traveling as much in year two of My Hero Academia, going to these in-person events?
I think I will travel a lot, but it'll be more selective. I
Sure.
think in retrospect, I was really excited to go to the Omaha Provisional, but in retrospect, I would not have spent the money to go just because it was a provisional. Like
Yeah.
it was fun,
Yeah.
and I liked meeting you, and I loved meeting everyone in person. But like, um, I don't think that I would do that one again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like you'll never see me do like a Vegas into Origins trip again, where I get off the plane from Vegas, get in my car, and go to Origins.
Origins, yeah,
I think I
yeah,
would just choose the convention usually. Like
yeah,
if I had to
yeah.
redo it, I would just
Mm,
choose a convention. I think I'm gonna still gonna. My plan would still be to travel to one or two events each season, but it would be a lot
yeah.
more selective in
Selective.
what I do.
Okay. Okay.
Um, as far as like season three, I really, really wanted to go to Toronto. I don't
Yeah.
because like as far as points go, I know that Jasco website isn't updated, but because I have the need to know everything at every point in time, I have the updated world's points on my computer in an Excel file.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Uh, I'm like seventh in the world right now just because I got second at Origins. So
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I'm close to auto qualifying for Worlds if I do
Sure.
well at Gen Con.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
so the goal is to make it to Worlds.
Yeah.
I have a round one buy at Nats already.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
so
Because what, second, third, and fourth each got a one round bye,
I
I
think
believe.
so. I think it first got two rounds
Yeah.
and second might have. I think second's the only one who got another buy.
Oh,
I think
okay.
third and fourth just got this Nintendo Switch and
Oh, okay.
uh
Okay.
the bunch of promos. Yeah. So I would say that like for season three, I want to go to California, but
Yeah.
I may skip it just because like I spent a lot of money over the summer traveling.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I get you.
and here's the other thing. We're talking about the Frigid Heatwave promo.
Yeah.
I know I should sell it.
Yeah.
But like every time I look at it and think about putting it on the internet, I don't do it. I have it like right
Yeah.
here on my desk. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, man, I know I should sell this, but I just haven't done it. If I
Yeah.
sold it, I would definitely go to California.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. You could what Travis sell his for over $5,000, so
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
easily
So
fund the rest of the year travel, no problem.
yeah,
You know.
and it would help pay for like it would help pay off the because we
Yeah.
treated Vegas as a vacation, so we
Sure.
threw a lot of it onto a credit card.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
we
I
spent a
get
bunch
you.
of
No,
money.
man. No, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
blame you at
so
all.
it would
Yeah.
it would like pay that off. So like
Yeah.
I know I should, but it just sits on my desk and stares at me. So.
I'm a big sentimental guy.
Mhm.
I like to collect cool things. And when I won Provisional 6, it was the first time I'd ever won anything in UVS/UFS outside of a
Mhm.
local tournament. So my buddy Corey Hicks was like, you should sell that instantly and ask for whatever, and then have someone barter you down to X. And I'm like, man, I don't think I'm gonna sell it because what
Mhm.
if I don't? win one ever again, or like I know I'd immediately regret it because it's just I get attached to things, so it's
Hmm.
just like I still have my Kotal Khan standard deck from the last standard worlds I played in. I had well, for one, I can't sell it because I had all these players sign every card. I have a
Hmm.
bunch of cards are signed, and no one will want to buy cards that are signed by people they have no idea who they are. But
Yeah.
that's something that if I wouldn't sell it. Like I got versus system decks that I won't sell because they're that game's near and dear to my heart. I have a bunch of Dragon Ball Super cards that I like the art on. It's just I don't know. I like my things, and there's some
Hmm.
things that will never. I just can't do it.
Yeah,
But
I've never had a tough time selling
hmm
anything until this point, and I don't know if it's just like apathy and laziness, or if
yeah,
it's that I'm attached to the card, or like what
yeah,
it is. Because
yeah.
like when I at Origins, I also got second in a provisional, and I got the second place Selkie, and I was or a top eight Selkie and the mat, and I was like, I'm never gonna sell these, and then I got second in the regional, and I was like, who wants to buy a top eight Selkie? Like
Mm-hmm.
immediately. So like,
Yeah.
um, I think that I think that I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm generally kind of lazy. Like I'm generally have like low energy when I'm
Okay.
at home and I don't want to do anything. And
Hey
the
man.
idea of dealing with messages through
Yeah, don't
Facebook
blame
and
you.
Discord just like
Yeah,
stresses me out.
don't blame you. Yeah.
So,
So kind of like you placed really well at events. You do a lot of YouTube videos. You're like a mainstay in the community now. Um, what does it feel like being one of the people that players look up to? Because obviously the content creators kind of hold not like a special spot, like they're not on a pedestal or anything, but people look to us as content creators for advice. For directions sometimes on how a meta goes, or why is this card play more than that? What's it like being as someone who is kind of new to UVS and in general, like um, and new to the not really new now because it's July, August, and you've been content creating for like 8 months, so it's not really that new. But you're one of the fresher faces in the community.
mhm.
What's it like being like a celebrity in a way?
Please don't say that. No.
Oh, and it's not really a celebrity, but you're known. Like people know your face,
Mhm.
they know your content. Um, does it feel like surreal when people come up to you and recognize you and want to chat with you, or do I know you can't say, oh, I don't like it, but because no one
Mhm.
would want to hear that. Do you like being someone's pro hero, Andrew? Is
It's so here there I have three part answer to this
Okay,
question.
cool.
One, it's really weird. It's really
Yeah, it
weird.
is. I know. Yep, I know.
It's so weird having people want to come up like when somebody came up to me with a I think it was a four. They came up to me with a fourth kind during
Sure.
Orlando because I signed a fourth kind, an indiscriminate shock, and somebody wanted me to sign something and they only had gotchas, so I signed the gotchas for them.
Oh
Um,
no. That's still kind of
but
cool though. I'm not gonna lie. It's still
yeah,
kind of cool.
once the first time someone came up to me and had me sign something, I was like, okay, this is weird. It's so weird. And then the other thing is for Origins in Orlando, a lot of my local players went with me,
Okay.
and they can tell you that I hate the attention. Like I love talking, but I hate when
Yeah.
it becomes a big deal. Like when it
Sure.
becomes signing and pictures. I will
Yeah.
take any amount of pictures. I will sign anything you want me to.
Yeah.
Um, but part of me on the inside is not used to it because
Sure.
my local players will always give me crap because they're like, "Why don't you treat us like those people? You're real mean to us." And I'm like, "I'm not that mean to you." Like, I know.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. That's funny. Yeah,
So
yeah, I
I,
know what it is. Yeah.
yeah, so it's weird. It's like stressful in a way
hmm
because I'm not used to it, and
Sure.
like I'm also I will also say that like it's made me more openly express emotions, I guess, because like I'm willing to
Oh
like share
yeah.
someone beat beat story or like
Sure.
like
Sure.
engage someone in a conversation or take a picture.
hmm
My wife has been giving me crap because I don't smile in a lot of pictures, but then every time a picture of me pops up from an event, I'm smiling, and she's like, "This
Ah.
is real suspicious, Andrew. You won't smile in the picture
Oh,
with
that's
me,
right.
but you'll smile with this."
And you have
Yeah,
people who tell you that you smell really nice.
I
You,
smell
you
nice.
smell
Yeah,
nice.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof, I almost got in trouble for that one,
Oh
So,
yeah.
um, but yeah, I would say that like I'm cool with it. I love talking to people at events. I actually
Yeah.
don't dislike it. It's just weird
Yeah.
to me in
It's
a
just
way that
weird.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's because when I was one of the mainstays for the old version,
Mhm.
I'd have people come up to me and say, "Hey, thanks. I'm so and so. I listen to." I'm like, "Cool." It's like I really appreciate it. I need to write your name down and all your info, so if we ever interact again, because it's kind of, it's you don't want to ever, you know, um, make someone feel like forgotten, or you're like, oh, I don't remember your name, I'm sorry. Like I actually blanked on someone's name. I want to say it was in Orlando, and I felt really bad about it because I'd met them in the old game,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people knew me through the content I put out, and you kind of it's kind of like you get an embarrassment or riches of friends because you just like people just want to come up and hang out and chit chat about the game and about their situations and life and and just stuff like that.
the the in-person stuff is actually really easy for me to deal with, I think.
Yeah.
The tough part is I am the worst at answering messages on Discord and Facebook. I'm so bad at it. And
Sure.
I will log into Facebook, see that I have a message, and I'll go, okay, I don't have the time to like engage this person right now, but I
Yeah.
would love to. But it'll be like 5 days until I respond. And it's not like I'm ignoring that person. It's just that
Yeah.
like I know that I either won't be able to fully commit to the conversation and I won't give them what they're looking for out of it.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that's it's actually the I will say the in-person stuff is fine because I'm able
Yeah.
to be like, hey, I gotta go catch my round, or hey,
Yeah.
I gotta go catch up with my buddies real quick. It was really nice
Sure.
talking to you.
Mhm.
But online, there's not a way to like
Yeah.
be like, hey, I can't
Yeah.
respond
Break the
anymore.
conversation, and
Yeah.
yeah, I
So
get it because you can't be at everyone's beck and call 24/7, and unfortunately with
yeah.
the internet you're at everyone's beck and call at 24/7, depending
Yeah.
on if
Like
you answer or
luckily
not.
luckily, like between me and you, like you might message me something and like it might be a day till I get back
Oh,
to you, but like
yeah, okay.
you're not expecting it. If you ever
No.
expect an immediate answer, I imagine you would say, hey, I need an answer quickly.
Oh yeah, no, I
Um,
would send you
yeah.
this GIF of Taylor Swift saying you didn't respond to my message. Guess who has a new album? Because that's how I take care
Yeah.
of things. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so like luckily a lot of people are understanding,
Mhm.
but I get self-conscious about being slow to respond when
Oh
it comes to
man,
like Facebook or
yeah,
Discord. So
yeah, I get that. Okay, well we're coming up to an hour already, which is great
yeah.
because I was super excited because I know this has been a long time. This has been one of my big wants is having you on the channel,
Mhm.
and it's just things haven't lined up to get you on the podcast. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna interview my friends because this was something that I thought about over like when I wasn't doing content for the game. Like I just wanted to have people on and talk, and just not even about the card game, just about life and what's going on because COVID and all that stuff, and just like favorite foods, just what's going on in their
Mhm.
life, whatever. Because like a lot of the times, this is the only way I get to talk to my friends is through this kind of medium.
Mhm.
But as we close, are there any like shout outs or call outs? Do you want to call anybody out for Gen Con? Because that would be sick. And
I'm
then,
gonna
what's going on? Like anything cool happening in your life? What you got coming up?
so call outs. If I was gonna call anyone out at Gen Con, it would just be Travis, the guy Travis Tangeman, the guy who just got second.
Yeah, let's
Just because
go.
we haven't played each other in a regional. He beat me in one provisional and I beat him in another.
Okay.
And we talk a lot of like subtle crap to each other. So I finally
Sure.
want to play him. He stayed with me in Orlando, so like
Yeah.
we're buddies. But like
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
finally run into him in Orlando.
Let's go.
All
That's
right,
sick.
in a regional. I mean, in a regional.
Yeah,
So
you heard it here first, folks. He's calling out
yeah,
Travis
yeah,
TNT Tangeman. Let's go. Let's get
yeah,
Travis.
yeah.
We need that response right now.
Yeah, so I have joked that because he also just got picked up by UnfunStuff
Oh,
recently as
cool.
a
Awesome.
sponsored like player.
Yeah.
I have joked that if they ban Fourthkind and Asui, Bromley's gonna have two new sponsored commentators and content creators because I don't know what else we would play. Um,
That's awesome.
but so I get, and then for shout outs, I do have to do my
Yeah.
sponsored
You
plug
good?
thing here. I have to
Yeah.
shout out unfunstuff.com.
Sure.
You can use code GoBeyond on unfunstuff.com and save 5% on your order of your My Hero Academia collectible card game needs. So that's cool. And then for me, I have a giveaway going on my channel, but by the time this gets posted, it
Yeah.
will be over.
Okay. Sure.
So I guess just go youtube.com/c/GoBeyondGaming. I've
Yeah.
been down on my content recently only because my internet doesn't work half the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In the last like 14 days, I've had internet for like 4 days,
That's
so
insane,
5 days
man.
maybe.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
So I have a bunch of stuff ready to go for while I'm gone at Gen Con and kind of like to catch up. Some
Cool.
more local stuff like Insight on Locals.
Awesome.
Part of the reason earlier you brought up me only doing like the competitive stuff recently is because I've been gone. I haven't been home to do
Yeah.
locals stuff.
Yeah.
I've been
That's
at all these
that.
events. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I guess just unfunstuff.com, my YouTube channel, Universus Academy. Where we're already at.
I
If you're already here, you should hit
yeah.
the subscribe button.
Yeah, I'm gonna promise you that Ryan Kraft will not be like beep over like leaping out anything that says to unfun stuff. I promise you.
I would get in trouble. It's in my contract.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just letting you know we are a non-discriminatory channel. We love all channels. We just want to be the best, but we love all channels. So we're gonna say that now.
Yeah.
And also, I need to
I'm
preface
getting really
this.
close to.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I need to also say that the views of Universes Academy are not the same as this show. So my views are not actually perpetuating the views of Universes Academy. So yeah, that may have to be like in a little text box in the description or whatever. I don't know.
The views of Chris Smith do not represent Universes Academy.
There we go. Thank you, because I couldn't think of it. But yeah, I don't want to get Matt and Ryan and John in trouble because this is my thing, and and the podcast is their thing, and I just want to so whatever. Anything else like? Personally, everything going good? Yeah,
everything's great. I'm almost at 500 subs on YouTube, so we're halfway to being monetized.
Sick.
Yeah, we're halfway to being monetized.
That's awesome. Congrats, dude. That's great.
Thanks. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think by the time Gen Con rolls around, if I start posting more videos, I should get there. I'm at like 497 or 498.
Oh, really cool. With this thing, you'll be over 500. We'll definitely help you pump up those numbers, buddy.
Yeah,
instantly. They'll say, what? Andrew and Chris? Bromancing? We're boom, boom, subscribe.
That's it really though. I kind of did my shout outs. Everything's good.
Awesome,
shout out to my wife. She's in the living room right now, probably listening to me through the walls, making sure I don't say anything bad about her, which I would never.
Yeah, my wife's in the other room.
Making sure we're not flirting too much.
That's true. My wife doesn't care if we flirt, and she's in the other room watching murder shows. So if you see someone come through the door with a knife, it's her. So she's fine. She's fine.
It's always the husband. That's the only thing those shows have taught me. So.
Yeah. My very first, just a quick before we close, my very first podcast on the guile treatment with Rob, she popped through the door with a knife, and I saw Rob. I couldn't see her because I was concentrating, and I see Rob looking at the door, and he's like saying, "Do it, do it." Like he's telling her to stab me, and I'm like, "What? Thanks, bud. I appreciate that."
Yeah,
so,
get him.
But yeah, cool. So everyone, this is going to wrap up the first episode of Take 10, where I get to interview my friends and other people and find out cool things that are happening with them in their lives with the game, My Hero Academia card game. I don't know if we're a TCG or a CCG. Have they ever said that yet?
Collectible card game. MHA CCG.
We're a CCG. Let's go. Yeah. Just stuff coming up. I'll be at Gen Con. Andrew will be at Gen Con. I don't know if this is going to get posted before Gen Con, but if it's post Gen Con, it was nice meeting all of you, and I hope to see you at the next live event, and I think that will do us, buddy. Let's roll the credits. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks.